Read Junk. Read Junk. Read Junk Podcast.
ReadJunk Podcast with your host, my guy.
Greetings. It is day 14 of quarantine here at ReadJunk headquarters. I'm your host, Brian Kremko, and I have a new episode for you today. The world has gone to shit, but hey, at least people can talk at home on the phone and Skype. This episode of the ReadJunk Podcast is with Cassie and Becky from Skybox. We talk about being on lockdown, which is always fun, their monthly box subscription, Skybox, how they got into ska, more ska. And we finish things off with a fun game with Jeff Goldblum trivia. You know you like it. We started having little issues in the beginning. We were talking on Google Hangouts and probably about 4 or 5 minutes into it, and it was kind of like getting really bad. So we switched over to phone, probably because everyone in the entire world is using Wi-Fi and phone and internet service right now because everyone's down in quarantine. So I don't know. Sorry about that, but we made it work. So let's get started. Here's my chat with the Rude Girls of Skybox right here on the ReadJunk Podcast. All right, so I'm talking with the gals from the Rude Gals from Skybox. Introduce yourselves, and so where are you from?
Hi, Cassie here. I'm from small town California, Yuba City.
And I'm Becky. We're in the same town, Yuba City.
Okay. So like, what is your scene? Is it San Francisco? Is it San Jose, Sacramento?
Sacramento. We go to the Bay Area too.
Okay.
Yeah, mostly Bay Area. Sacramento has a small scene. There's a handful of ska bands there, but mostly we hit a lot of the tour scene in San Francisco.
Okay. Are you guys close to Chico?
Yeah, about 45 minutes away.
Okay, because a company that I work for, they have a location there. It's like it used to be like build.com, but anyway.
Yeah, that's where we went to college, Chico.
Okay. Yeah, I've never been there, but yeah, we've had people in the office and stuff come from there, and I'm like I have no idea where that is. but then I did Google Maps, and then I'm like, oh, okay, they're close to that area. So how are you holding up with this? Are you guys in lockdown or?
We are in staying inside. Yeah.
Okay. And are you able to work from home?
So we do most of our work from home. So we're doing this, Skybox, and then our other jobs are like caretaking, which is in the home.
Okay.
So we're not really doing much. We weren't affected, luckily, with work-wise.
Okay, that's good. So, I mean, are you able to like watch movies and TV and listen to lots of music, or are you still just kind of working most of the time and taking care of the kids or anything like that?
Yeah, it's definitely been a lot having the kids.
Oh.
But we board games, things like that, playing a lot of video. So that's been one we've been plugging into a lot.
Oh, you were breaking up there for a minute. I heard board games.
Yeah, so board games and video games. Been watching, Netflix and Disney Plus, that kind of thing. We've been playing Luigi's Mansion a lot.
Oh, nice. I have Disney Plus, so my son he always wants to watch, like, we watched Star Wars again. I'm like, we just watched this the other day. But it's I'm like, I can't complain. You. What?
Yeah.
I said we lost you there.
Oh, I know the connection's kind of spotty there. I don't know if like maybe calling on the phone would be better, but we can always try that.
Honestly, it might be. Yeah, it might be better on the phone. Sorry about that.
It's okay. We tried it one way, and I mean, everyone in the world is using like Wi-Fi and internet service right now. So
we've noticed. Yeah, our internet's been having a lot of issues.
I've been seeing it in the Facebook Live videos too. Everyone's been struggling with connection.
Oh, okay. Well, okay. So you can hear me. I can hear you guys. Okay, so that's good.
Yep, everything's good.
All right. So where we were talking about. So what you've been doing during the lockdown. I've been working from home myself and trying to keep my son entertained, and it's been an issue at times. So like I finally went outside for the last like the first time in like a couple days. So it's
Right.
yeah, because like everyone's just like walking around and like not like they don't know how to social distance, and it's like
How is it where you're at? Are you guys on quarantine or?
yeah, we I've been working from home since I've had a medical issue since like November, so I'm kind of used to it, but now I got my family with me.
Yeah.
So it's been a little bit different, but my son hasn't had daycare. It's like
Oh no, yeah.
and he's like 4, but he's able to like he'll play. We'll have like activities and do this, and then they've been doing like online chats with the other classmates for a little bit, so that helps for a little bit. But yeah, it's definitely been. But I'm in a town with a hospital, so it keeps like increasing each day of like cases, and I'm like 45 minutes from New York City, which is like the epicenter right now. So it's
Oh yeah.
Wow.
yeah. So it's been kind of scary. I did laundry today, which I like wiped down everything. So it's and I'm like, oh man, it feels weird. It feels like I'm in the beginning of The Walking Dead or something. It's really surreal.
Yeah, but I'm just disappointed there's no zombies. That's what I've been saying.
Yeah, I know. That's what everyone's been saying. Like, man, I've been training for this, like trying to find weapons.
My whole life. Yeah.
Yeah.
And nothing.
It's like, look around you right now. What can you kill with a zombie right now? It's like a big glass thing of a candle that gets smashed over the head. But
Lots of toilet paper.
oh, send some over. So has there been any music that you've been listening to during this crazy time?
We have actually been listening to a lot of music. We're getting a lot of band outreach, so we've been listening to their stuff, so that's been fun. We're definitely getting more music, and all the live videos and stuff on Instagram and Facebook have been great.
Yeah, that's been fantastic.
That's what I'm like really happy about, that like all these musicians are doing Facebook Live and YouTube, but I guess at YouTube you need at least 1,000 subscribers. So it's like
Oh, wow.
yeah, because Cooley of Pilfers has been trying to get.
Right, I saw that.
I saw that. I didn't realize. I didn't click.
And yeah, I mean he got like 500, but he still needs another 500. And I guess he was trying to do something today.
Yeah.
But yeah, so and I'm like, well, you can do stageit.com if you actually want to get like send tips, or people just. I've been seeing people doing like Venmo and.
Yeah. PayPal, Venmo, everybody. It's good. The music community was hit hard, but they seem to be trying to help each other out. So that's really awesome.
And it just seems about every music venue is doing a like GoFundMe thing, and
Right.
because it's just tough. Like there was just so many layoffs, and it's
We know. Yeah.
go ahead.
Sorry.
No, go ahead.
We know lots of small businesses that have been affected too, cafes and things like that are trying to do takeout orders, and
Yeah.
it's just kind of generally hit everyone.
Yeah, it's the same thing for me. Is like my town is known for like restaurants, so it's everyone's switched to curbside and takeout, and I'm still scared to do that. So I'm like, we stacked up a bunch, but it's like we've been trying to do online food delivery, and it's been really tough.
Right.
Like I keep trying to look at, my store is called Acme, so I've been looking for deliveries, and it's like 2 or 3 weeks out. But I'm like, good thing I have that much food, but certain things like milk, and it's just, oh man, it's just like a crazy time. I've never thought I would have like lived through this right now.
Didn't expect this one.
Really
No, I
strange.
expected a lot of other things, but not this.
Yeah.
With the current administration, but let's not get into that right now. That'd be a whole nother podcast. But let's get into Skybox. This is what you started to do back in November. You started a Kickstarter or something like that. Like, where did the idea come from?
So the idea kind of came, we go to a lot of ska shows, and Becky is a subscription box junkie. She subscribes to all the makeup boxes and Loot Crate and pet boxes. And so we were on our way to a show, and she had, a car full of like the empty boxes. And I was joking, it would be cool to have something like this for ska. And we just kind of looked at each other and it clicked.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just kind of light bulb.
I'm surprised no one's done it before. Maybe it just didn't take off, but.
Yeah, we did before we launched in November, we did a couple of years of market research, and just to make sure that it was something that would float. And there were a handful, really honestly, just a couple of boxes that were for music in the first place, and they weren't really geared towards our genre, our scene. And so it from what we had seen, it hadn't really been done before, and there wasn't really any competition out there. It's the only thing that's been done in kind of the specifically the ska scene, and even in like the ska punk genre.
All right. And then like, so it's monthly, and how much is it each month?
It's $35 a month, and that includes shipping.
Okay.
For
That's
domestic.
good.
Yeah, for domestic. International has been tricky.
Yeah.
But
I can imagine.
we've only we did Canada and the UK, and that learning about import tax fees and all that fun stuff. It's been another struggle.
Yeah, because I imagine like at least like the Mexican scene and like certain people in the Japanese scene, they're gonna want it in on the action too.
Yeah,
absolutely.
We've had people reach out, but they're we're trying to find a way to make the international shipping cost less, because we have had them reach out and they're like, we just can't do it, and it's like, we can only cover so much at this time. So that's the end game goal. Hopefully we can figure that out too.
So, I mean, how many items are roughly in the box? Is it vary from each month, or like, this is enough? Or
there's a minimum of 5, and 2 items are like a CD or something like that, and a T-shirt.
Okay.
And then the other 3 to how many ever in that theme or box, or it depends.
So it varies with things like we've done water bottles, we've done patches, pen stickers,
guitar picks.
There will be 7 inches and flexis and
checkered gas masks.
Gas mask and toilet paper.
Yeah. Checkered toilet paper. That's the way.
Checkered toilet paper.
Or plaid if you're a Bosstones.
Right.
Option.
Hey, I'm just giving you options.
Right.
So you did the Kickstarter, but that was it kind of like a false start, and then you did it another one, or am I thinking of another one?
No, so you're absolutely right. We did the Kickstarter, and the first go round, it was an unsuccessful campaign. So we had a lot of good traction there at the end of the campaign. Mm-hmm. So we decided to go ahead and do another one. And the second campaign was going very, very well, but unfortunately got reported. And it got reported
to Kickstarter under the claim that we were stealing merch and selling it, kind of like without permission, which I want to say clearly is not the case.
Yeah, I was going to bring that up.
Yeah.
So you didn't. So that was the first one, or was that the second one?
The first one was the fail. The second one we got reported.
Okay.
So then from there we just said, done with the Kickstarters, and everything else has just been us doing our footwork and purchasing from bands and all that ourselves, just without the funds of the Kickstarter.
But did you have were people supporters, or were they since the Kickstarter goes away, that kind of goes away as well?
It goes away, yes. So once the Kickstarter is gone, they take all information about the Kickstarter. So any supporters we didn't know because they have their emails and whatnot through Kickstarter.
But what has been kind of cool is we have actually had a couple of people from that campaign find us anyway and purchase boxes. Okay. So that's good. Cool.
That's our scene. Everyone supports each other,
Yes, exactly.
That's right.
Well, let's go back to the licensing and the agreements part, because you have some band merch and merch in there. So, do you get written permission, or you have to just here's 20 CDs or I don't know how many subscribers you have right now, but how does that all work?
Yeah, so how that works, it's similar. We reach out to the bands, and then, we buy the merchandise, we explain what we're doing, and, that we want them in the box. And then once they do it, there's, we make sure that they give us permission to use their stuff. A couple of them have given us their logo for us to use to make it easier, because we're not everyone's close to us. So we had a couple do it that way.
Okay.
It's all been, direct permission from bands or their labels. We hooked up with Vinny from Less Than Jake, who is running Paper and Plastic, and he helped us get a hold of, some Big D and the Kids Table and Doped Up Dollies merch. And then, then we were able to, get in direct contact with them. And so, it's also been through labels, but, 90% of it has been directly through bands themselves.
All right. That's great. At least it's people are not just shunning you and no, fuck off kind of thing, but.
No. They've all been, most of them have been pretty good. So.
Has there anyone that turned you down so far? You don't have to name them, but.
So, we haven't been specifically turned down per se, but we've been ghosted by a couple
of bigger bands where they're just we're not even going to give the time.
Yeah. Well, we want the money. But so you're paying for it. You're paying for that and then giving it away kind of.
Yeah, exactly. So that's where we have our seller's permit and business license information.
I think what it comes down to with some of that is just trusting the brand. When bands sell us their merchandise, they're letting us rebrand them under Skybox, and I think that there's a lot of trust in that we're gonna, do right by them and that they're going to get, a little bit of publicity on our end out of it. And, so I think it's just a trust thing. We're still new, and we're hoping as we build and grow and time goes by that some of those guys will come around.
Yeah, they will. I just got to build up the audience, but it seems like you are. I think did you just hit 1,000 on Instagram?
You did just hit 1,000, so we're pretty happy about that. Pretty exciting.
Yeah,
it seems
I can't.
Yeah, it's a struggle, right?
It's a lot of work.
It is. It's I'm gotta stretch it out to so many different platforms. And it's and I'm sure really. I piss off people, and then they unfollow me. And
exactly,
it happens.
Yeah, and it's all right. So how many boxes have you released so far?
So February, March, and now April's coming up on the 15th. So it's been 2, and we're getting ready to do the third.
And then that's going to be Woman in Ska, I guess the theme is?
Yes.
Yes.
So can you tell us who's going to be featured in that?
We can say who is going to be featured. So we have, hold on, there's a list. 1 second.
We have
The Fuss, Half Past 2, Tess London, we just got.
the rough customers.
Stop the Presses.
Okay.
Yes.
I think, and then we're talking to, hoping to get
Something from Catbite.
Yeah.
So we're hoping on that still.
And then we have another couple bands that we've reached out to, and we're waiting to hear confirm from them.
Awesome. Okay.
So a pretty good list.
Yeah. Yeah, I know. I know most of them. Yep. So what are your favorite female fronted ska bands of all time that are not going to be included in the box, but just in general?
Yeah, no.
Question. Good one. So, I mean, definitely, like Save Ferris.
Dance Hall Crashers.
Going all the Cali bands.
Yeah. And, we're big fans of The Interrupters.
Fun.
Yeah.
Arguably the biggest ska band right today, I would think. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, definitely. For sure today, yeah.
Like, yeah, if there's a fourth wave, they're definitely leading it.
Absolutely. We've been pretty impressed with, what they've been able to do for the scene in their short amount of time,
Yeah. Well, it's when you have Tim Armstrong,
Yeah.
No
That's
kidding.
true.
No
That's
kidding.
true.
But yeah, so any East Coast bands?
For female?
Yeah, for female, yeah.
You mean we're talking like Scotalites and
Well, yeah, I guess you could do that.
yeah.
Checkered Cabs. I don't know if that was before your time or not. They were from like the 90s. Yeah. I'm trying to think of other it's like Rude Boy George. They're have you reached out to them yet?
Haven't.
Not yet.
Oh, I'm sure they would be happy to be in the box.
Yeah, send all the bands our way.
All right. I'm sure they listen because I'm friends with them.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
10 cents.
All right. I will tell them to reach out to you because I'm sure they would gladly do something. Yeah.
That'd be great.
So what other themes are you thinking of doing in the future? And are you gonna is it mostly just like ska punk third wave, or are you kind of gonna do some old stuff or is it comes down to like band agreements and that kind of stuff too?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
So a lot of it comes down to band agreements. Absolutely. This is, being that it's the third box, we have, about 30 bands on board, but it's just a matter of, figuring out where we can kind of fit them in together and how to group them. And, we'd obviously love to have a lot more of that first wave trad ska. It's our roots, and you talked about getting a lot of people mentioned getting the kids into the scene or bringing that to the now. And we've actually haven't had a ton of trad ska bands reach out, and so that's something that we've been kind of hunting on a little bit. That's a goal for us to work on. Yeah.
It's like Eastern Standard Time, aren't they kind of traditional? I guess you can reach out to them.
Yes. Yes.
If everything clears and everything's okay, are you going to go down to Supernova in June? I don't know if it's still going to happen, but
Yeah, we really want to get to Supernova. We are doing Viva Ska Vegas.
That's obviously postponed.
Yeah, but that was postponed. But we're going to be going to that when they redo it in September. all things go according to plan.
Yeah, I know. Madness just postponed. So I was like, oh man, next year. I'm like, fuck.
Yeah, I know.
Sad.
I knew it was gonna happen, but it's just
Right.
Right, we were hoping deep down. We were all still hoping.
Yeah.
I'm like, I can skank in a bubble, right?
Right.
We need a little good circle pit going with the bubbles.
I won't get hurt.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, no one would get hurt. It'd be perfect.
Like, oh,
We
someone.
do want to go to Supernova, though.
I know.
My case,
There's so many good bands supposed to be playing, but it's just, I don't even think I can get down there, and I'm maybe 5 hours away, but it's like it's tough. I'm like,
we're looking at plane tickets.
yeah. And it's like same thing with like trying to go to punk rock bowling, and I'm like, yeah. And then you gotta pay for a hotel, and you gotta do it for this.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And it's like, yeah, you're a parent too, and it's like, man, I can't do this.
I know.
Her gremlins wouldn't survive without her.
Now, if Skybox had original theme song or licensed theme song, which one do you think would be the better one? The Exceptions Box Full of Stuff or Mustard Plug Box?
Oh. See, this is a question I'm stumped. I'll be honest. I was thinking, like, what would be the first thing?
Yeah, I mean, if you had a theme song, I mean, I would think the Exceptions Box Full of Stuff is a good one. That's kind of fitting.
It's perfectly fitting.
Yeah.
Hey, reach out. I'm sure if you do a Skybox podcast. Speaking of which, I mean, have you thought about doing that? Kind of like, or, I mean, I think you have a YouTube channel, but have you thought about doing?
We're trying to do. Yeah, so like we're trying to do vlogs and stuff like that, but we are just, I don't know what it is.
Commitment. Yes, I'm the same way.
It's like, oh, I'm gonna have recording and like setup, and it's like, man, I don't know.
I feel you. It's last month. I'm like, man, I don't want to do a damn podcast, and I'm like, oh, everyone's home now. I can do it.
Right now is the perfect time. We can't go anywhere.
Yeah, I'm like, you can't. Oh, I'm sorry, I'm busy. I'm like, no, you're not.
No, you're not.
Have you featured any exclusive artwork for the box, like from artists like that do just like ska artwork in general, or about musicians or ska coloring books? Have you offered anything like that yet?
So we're just starting with that now. We've been like, we love the idea. We I don't know if you saw on our Instagram, but we got artwork done by Tatiana. I can't remember her last name.
Yeah.
Yeah, she does good stuff. Is she a tattoo artist?
Oh, fantastic.
Yeah.
So, and we had somebody else reach out to us. So right now we are at the point, content to you, of being an artist and getting more stuff done, because we are like wanting to make it a thing. Our long-term goal would be to have not only, different new bands, but like maybe a new artist a month also for like somebody in the scene. So, and we reached out to finish this zine, which we met at was it Azkaban show? And so they do really cool stuff. And we've talked to them about, doing something that's kind of ska punk related. And so we've totally had this idea in mind and been trying to play with it a little bit.
Yeah, because I think that would be really something worth, like, oh, you're getting exclusive, like a limited prints, one of 50 or whatever it is that you have.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that would be really good. I mean, I definitely have some artwork that you could, but I don't know, because it's print. I have print on demand. I don't actually have like, I don't do print 500 t-shirts. I probably should, but
it's a lot of work.
yeah, and money, and I don't have. I don't have that.
None of us do.
Yeah, I like everything that doesn't make me any money. It's like podcasts.
Right. Yeah.
A comic strip. I'm like, yeah. They don't call it starving artist for a reason.
Yeah, that's right.
But so how did you two get into ska?
So for me, I moved from like a small hills town to a bigger area and got into like the skate punk scene. And so that was a lot of, third wave punk. And first, I think it was stuff like, Mustard Plug and Stinkin' Pickle, and then, Dance Hall Crashers and Save Ferris. And it just kind of went from there.
Skank and Pickle, man, they're one of my favorites. Have you ever seen them live before they broke up?
I had not seen them live. No.
I begged my dad and think it was 96 and they played the Wetlands in New York City. And I was like, I have to go. And I think Mike Park left the band at that time. I was like, where the hell's Mike? But I'm like, I was still happy to see the majority of the band play, Lars, I think Lars and Lynette were singing, but.
Oh, that's wonderful. That's great.
And it was like one of my first ska shows that my dad went to. And then like he would just wear the Skank and Pickle shirt for like years and years. He had like holes in it. He's still wearing it. Everyone thought he was a narc all the time because he was just sitting there in the back like bopping his head. Go all the ska shows with us.
That's the best.
So like what was like the first album that really stuck out to you for both of you? Yeah.
So for me, it was Mustard Plug's Evil Doers Beware. I put that album on repeat.
Yeah.
Mine was honestly Turn Off the Radio by Real Big Fish that she had given me when I was like 14. So. And that one was, so I'll be real, I know everyone loves to hate, but I love my Real Big Fish.
No, I remember getting it was a 3-song demo tape at the Warped Tour. People were handing that out. Yeah.
Warped Tours, yeah.
And I was like, I forget what songs. It was like Trendy and 2 other ones.
Yeah.
But I remember having that. I think I sold it though. I'm like, I don't want to need a cassette for anymore. And it's like,
right.
And now it's coming back for some reason.
Cassettes. I mean, yep, it's making a comeback. We actually got cassettes.
We have some.
Yeah, we have cassettes.
I have cassettes only because I used to have a college radio show, so I have a player that I can rip all those cassettes for. But otherwise, I'm like, I'm not listening to this. I don't even have a CD player on my computer anymore.
Yeah, I know it's a trip. It's so weird how everything.
It's just transitions, and now it's like vinyl, and I sold a vinyl and that I got, and then I'm like, I don't want this, so I went and tried selling it, and then I didn't have a box to send it, so I had to cut down a box, and I had to make my own.
We've had that struggle with vinyl.
I was like looking on YouTube how to send it. I'm like, oh man, this is such a hassle. It's like not worth it.
Why did I do this?
I'm like, it's great for like artists that like want to have their artwork displayed really big on these things, or you hang up the vinyl. But I've never been a vinyl person. What was the first ska show that you both saw?
My first Ska Show was Citizen Fish and
Nice.
Chico, actually. That was a good intro of, oh my gosh, there's more than just this stuff. There's also this kind of ska. Now I need more.
Small venue too, like a pizza parlor, like
Wow.
Maybe 30 people, and like right up front on the same floor, no stage.
Yep.
I miss those. At the same time, I'm like, it's like then it's too packed when it is packed, because I've certainly been at shows where it's just the other bands playing.
Yeah.
Right.
That's what I was like. Everyone's like making those jokes about, you can't go to events that have under like 100 people. I'm like, Ska shows.
We've seen this.
Those have been killing me.
Yeah, the memes have definitely been good for in this
memes
time.
are great during this time. I'm loving it. I've been on Facebook more just to share more memes. I don't know if I'm making people upset or not, but I'm having a blast.
Therapeutic.
Yeah, it's like you have to laugh during these weird times.
You have to laugh.
Yeah. What are some underrated ska bands that people might not have heard of? Like I'm not aware of a lot of like West Coast bands, I guess, but maybe vice versa with West Coast, not knowing the East Coast.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, we know less East Coast. We got a lot of Florida. But, like, over here, we have, like, Flip the Switch is one of our Sacramento bands. And they're super fun, and they're awesome. They're, like, ska punk, a lot of fun. And, you know, not a lot of people know who they are. I don't know if it's because it's over here, like you said, the different coast thing. But they're definitely one that's been fun. We've seen their shows, and they were just in our last box, too.
That's a Sacramento band, so that's one of our, like, local scene bands.
So we can see them, actually.
Oh, okay. I think maybe it's from you, from Skybox, that's been talking about Flip the Switch, but the name, I haven't heard the music, but I've heard the name.
Yes, we you know, they work with us a lot. They, we're friends with them, you know, and so it's definitely been sharing back and forth. We're trying to bring up more of our bands in general and make it more scene like that so people can know who to expect. There's also, you know, like some of the female-fronted ska bands that we're working with on this month, like the Fuss and the Rough Customers. Bands like Half Past Two, people are hearing about a little bit more. But I think the Fuss, they're from D.C.
Oh, yeah. I know them.
Yeah,
Yeah.
They're pretty great, and I think that they're definitely one of those underrated bands.
Like a soul kind of, yes, yeah.
Yeah, they are. We like them a lot, that different feel.
Yeah, it's like sometimes it's just adding a little soul, as you can tell from the Pie Tasters, it just goes a long way.
Yeah.
Instead of just like the fast pick it up kind of stuff.
Right. Yeah. That's like another band here in the Bay Area that is, you know, pretty local that we can see is Soul Ska, and they have that same feeling. It's like, man, if those two would ever meet and just go together, the Fuss and Soul Ska, that'd be fun.
That'd be a killer one.
Because they're both that same type of, like,
sultry, you know, very, nice.
Have you thought about maybe like putting on a show or like presenting a show somewhere for like?
Yes, that is our, we definitely want to someday, biggest goal. We love music, of course. We wanted to put on some smaller, festivals, and we were planning on doing something, but that is obviously getting postponed due to we can't plan much of anything right now.
We wanted to do some of the, one of the punk rock flea market type events that have been happening, and then
include the bands.
And then also we wanted to do a launch party show, but that kind of happened right around the beginning of the end. And then also we've been talking with some of our bands about doing different little things, but so a lot of that's gotten postponed, so we'll see where that goes.
The long-term goals, yay.
Yeah, I did the show last year for Radix Fest, and I was just I'm kind of it was a bit drama and a headache, and I was kind of worried about whether or not people will show up, and I'm like, yeah, maybe and it's like maybe I'll just be a fan.
Yeah.
That's a little intimidating. Yeah.
Yeah.
I used to do punk shows back in the day, and that was always the challenge, right? Selling tickets and filling the room and making sure that you can pay everyone, and it's a little bit of a headache.
Yeah, and it's just like when I was there, it was like my birthday, and it was. I don't know. I just had like a weird feeling, and I was like also getting threatened for something.
Oh gosh!
interviewing a person and then a former bandmate, and like that kind of.
Yeah, you get into more drama.
And I'm like, man, I don't need this.
All that inner scene drama.
I'm like, I
was just trying to have fun.
I just wanted to have a ska show with on my birthday, and I'm like, maybe I'll do one again, but maybe just like, here, these are the bands I want. You guys handle it and have someone else.
Right.
What was the last show that you saw before everything shit the bed?
Oh man, we saw Monkey and Western Standard Time Ska Orchestra.
Oh, it was awesome.
Blew our mind.
It was so much fun.
Yeah, I never saw them. I guess Greg's not in the band anymore, right? Because I think I saw something recently. It's like, I'm not in the band. Don't go see him if you're expecting me or something.
Right.
Is there someone else that's fronting, like singing, or is it a female singer?
Not a female for Monkey.
No, for the Western.
No, there wasn't. I don't actually think I remember any females.
Was it just instrumental?
There was a little bit of singing, but
Okay.
it was mostly instrumental. Yeah, and
Okay.
I mean, honestly, to be honest, I watched their saxophone section the whole night. I was just so blown away. But
Were they like spinning around their horns like Brian Seitzer orchestra?
Man, it was just the runs, like I don't understand how they don't breathe for
Oh, they're breathing through their music, man. Yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
And then Monkey is fantastic also. We saw them a couple of nights at Tazy's Ska Parade tour, and then that's the reason why we went and saw Western Standard Time, is because we were going to see Monkey.
okay.
Monkey is just fun. They're fun. They are so fun.
Yeah, there's a lot of West Coast bands I haven't seen live before. Monkey is one, and then just like a lot of bands that I wish would come over here. And the same thing with East Coast, like
Yes.
it's like, oh, Bucko 9 never comes over here, and
Oh yeah.
and it's
I know that's when we love Bucko 9.
yeah, there's just all these different bands. I'm like, man, just get on the. And it's like they came over here, but it was like for the Bosstones like little festival they had over in like Rhode Island. I'm like, I'm not going to Rhode Island.
Right. See, that's how I feel about the pie tasters.
Why?
A lot of bands will come to California, but a lot of them are going to Southern California too, so we don't get to see
They'll hit LA and they leave, and I'm like, no, you guys got to
go back up.
I
Keep
know
going.
California's a big ass state.
It is, man.
We've drove to LA and stuff for concerts before, but man, we're 8 hours, 9 hours away.
Fuck
So
that.
it's like that's a lot of work to get to those shows. They're far and few and in between.
I don't even want to
We
go to
went
New York
to
City these days, and I'm like train ride. If like my train, there's a train station right out my door, and I'm still like, well, the train's coming back. There's one that's at the last one's at like 12:30. So if not, and then I have to take an Uber home, and it's just like all this calculation in your head.
Out of it.
Yeah, you're like, I'm like, I'm too old for this shit.
Exactly.
Especially if it's a weekend, I'm like, if it's a weekend, I can handle it. It's like that.
Yeah, probably, yeah.
Yeah, because the Madness show was supposed to be a Memorial Day, and that was supposed to be like, I think, a Friday, and then they moved it to next year, which is now Wednesday. I'm like, I'm like, oh.
Right. We talk about that all the time. Like, why on a Wednesday? Why?
And 6 bands.
Yeah. And you don't start until 9.
Yeah, that was my first comic I did. It was like, I always bust Cooley Ranks because he always puts all these bands on that I'm like, man, can you just like have 3?
Right? Can we start at 3?
I'm like, oh man, I'm like, because like the bands that you want to see, they go on like 1 o'clock. I'm like, I can't stay.
Yep. It's like it's past my bedtime.
So I mean, what else do you have planned for Skybox? Anything that we didn't touch upon or talk about?
Our events that are postponed. That's our biggest thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, postponed. But we have, a lot of giveaways planned for milestones on social media and, like subscriber milestones, stuff like that. So we're just going to keep pushing out the giveaways, and we're planning on giving away a box with this next giveaway instead of like a package. We're going to give away an actual box. So that's going to be awesome. We're excited about that.
I'll have to let people know when you do that.
Yeah.
Now, like, I mean, you have more followers than me, so I don't. But I'll still let people know.
I'm sure you have people that don't, know who we are.
Vice versa. We'll share followers.
Yeah, we should just share. Yeah, we just let everyone know. Yeah. Now, before we go, I figured that you might want to answer some trivia questions. They're easy. ReadJunk is known for doing Jeff Goldblum trivia, so I don't know if you know Jeff Goldblum too well, but we'll see.
Yes.
All right. Well, So, all right. So I'm going to have insert the theme song and.
Life finds a way.
What are we waiting for? Let's do it.
Number 1. Jeff Goldblum has a TV series on was it Amazon Prime, Netflix, Disney Plus, or Discovery?
Oh, I thought, okay. I think it's Discovery, but isn't it technically on Disney Plus because Disney owns everything?
Yes.
Yes, it is Disney Plus.
Ding, ding, ding.
Ding, 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 ding.
Long explanation, sorry.
Well, I don't know. I don't think Discovery is Discovery owned by Disney?
I think I don't know. I thought it was just, I don't know. I feel like they own everything now.
They own everything.
It might, yeah, they do. It might be National Geographic, but maybe it's all under one umbrella.
I apparently put it all on an umbrella.
Right. Okay. No one's ever gotten all these questions right before, by the way. I've asked a few.
Challenge accepted. Challenge accepted.
All right.
Jurassic Park for the next question.
Okay. Number 2, true or false? Jeff Goldblum wasn't in Jurassic World: Fallen Kingdom. True or false?
Okay, hold on. In the Kingdom.
It was the last Jurassic World movie.
The last one. I'm going to say false because I can't remember the movie, but I'm just going to say, I feel like he's a cameo guy, so I'm going false.
Yes.
Yes, you're right. Yes, he was in it for maybe 3 minutes, but I think the new one they're doing.
I've seen all the Jurassic Park, so I was like, okay, maybe I'll do okay with this. Okay.
All right, number 3. Jeff Goldblum didn't lend his voice to which animated TV series? The Simpsons, South Park, King of the Hill, or Captain Planet and the Planeteers?
Oh, I'm going to say I love trivia. Okay,
it's kind of a trick question.
Planet.
Yeah.
I don't. So he didn't lend his voice?
Yeah. So he appeared in all of these except one of them. Which one didn't he appear in?
Okay, that helps. I feel like he was in South Park. Was he in King of the Hill? I'm going to go with Captain Planet still.
No.
He was actually did the voice for he did a voice for some character in Captain Planet. It was actually South Park.
Darn it. Well, now I failed the trivia, didn't I? He was there in South Park? I feel like they would have picked on him. That's crazy.
They did pick on him, but he didn't do his voice in it. So it was a Jeff Goldblum character, but it wasn't. So it was kind of a trick question, but.
Okay. Fair point.
All right.
I didn't get it right either way.
That's okay. That's okay. All right. Number 4. This one I think you'll like. If Jeff Goldblum was in a ska band, which name would fit him best? Would it be less? So it's kind of whatever is the best answer, I think. And I came up with these myself.
Okay.
Less than Jeff.
Oh, okay.
Mighty Goldblums. Bloom Scala Bloom. Or Jeffrey's Goldblum Fan Club. All of the above, right?
All of the above. You can't choose just one.
Yes.
Maybe
he was in all of the bands because he's that talented, right?
He would be. He would be, even with just a few cameo seconds.
I feel like I need to do a ReadJunk post about Jeff Goldblum and Ska Bands now.
I think you do. I think you just started something. I think we need a poll. And maybe he could just do all different parts of it too.
I'll just Photoshop him on all these bands.
Yeah, there you go. That's a lot less work than what I said.
All right, so that's okay. That was an easy, and this one's an easy one too. Give me your best Jeff Goldblum impersonation.
Oh, how is that easy?
You could just do a quote or anything like, and kind of do how he talks and pauses and.
I'm gonna end up doing William Shatner. He does like I can't. I'm gonna do William Shatner. He's Shatner. I only have one voice.
Like life finds a way.
Yeah. I could do. You can't see, but I could do his pose because he has the thinking face. There you go. His fingers.
There you go.
Maybe anything I say like this, it will help. I'm just still felt Shatnery.
Yes.
I'll accept that answer. Okay, ladies, we're pretty much done. Is there anything else that you want to add, or like where can people find you on social media, and do you have a website and all that kind of stuff?
Yeah, so we're on Instagram, Facebook, and the Twitter.
The Twitter,
it's Skybox
yes.
Rocks. Yeah, the Twitter, Skybox Rocks. And then our website is Skybox Rocks, which that's ROX.com.
Okay.
So SKABOXROX.com.
And I was gonna ask this. I mean, so given with the current situation with the virus, are you kind of have to reassure people that you kind of have to wear gloves or something, putting the stuff in?
Yeah. So it's a tricky situation. Yeah, we have gloves and the spray cans of Lysol because that's the quickest for half of our
Yeah.
And so, yeah, it has been, and alone with that, it's been tough this month alone to get stuff, getting all that bands to get their merch and whatnot. But yeah, we're going to try to reassure everyone that yes, we have no signs, at least.
We have, just gloving up and making sure our surfaces are clean, keeping our merch bagged. And like she said, bands have been having a little bit of a struggle getting their stuff shipped because of issues, but even the mailman's wearing gloves, so we're good.
Yeah, it's tough because like I wanted to go to the post office, but I'm like, yeah, I don't need to go. So I mean, you have to go to the post office, or are you doing like stamps.com kind of thing?
Yeah, so we set up pickup appointments, and they pick up stuff directly from us.
Okay, great. Okay, so at least you're not going to that facility and
Nope.
We don't really want to, no.
Yeah, we're at home.
I know I had eBay auctions going on, and I'm like, fuck it. I'm like, I just canceled it. I'm like, I'm not going anywhere.
Yeah, nope. Not worth it. Not going outside.
Well,
as of right now, everything's kind of, normal, going kind of same as usual. And if anything changes, we'll update everybody.
Yeah, just everyone follow them on Skybox Rocks, and if something goes on, then you'll be the first to know if you follow.
Exactly. That's right.
Yeah. Well, thanks a lot. This was very informative and fun.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you so much for having us.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
I'd like to give back to the scene, and likewise, spread the word.
Yeah.
And bands, reach out to them to have them feature your band in the upcoming Skybox stuff too.
Yes.
I'm looking at you, Rude Boy George.
That's right.
All right. Instead of saying goodbye, I'll say stay safe.
Yeah, stay safe. Don't forget your mask and toilet paper.
Don't forget your toilet paper.
6 feet away. Don't handshake.
6 feet away.
All right. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right, take it easy. Bye-bye. Thank you.
Bye.